the conduct would make Lincoln roll over in his grave. There were licenses for bribes which put in jeopardy public safety.
That was a picture of corruption at the highest levels of government.
Are you innocent of these charges? Theft of government property, $100,000, money laundering?
Somebody's got to be watching. Look in the papers. Every day somebody's getting indicted.
Too many of us probably weren't watching or paying close enough attention. So somewhere along the line, it became business as usual in Illinois. Run for office, get elected, and then milk it for all it's worth.
I mean, I've got this thing, and it's golden.
If it isn't the most corrupt state in the United States, it's certainly one hell of a competitor.
The ones we catch, we send to prison. But that's not enough to fix the pieces of a broken government. We could be tied with California for most bankrupt state in America, and Rod Blagojevich went a long way toward creating that. When you spend 2 to 8 hours a week in your office, when you hide in the bathroom during budget discussions, when you have to be tracked down at a bowling alley to deal with a piece of legislation, something is dreadfully wrong. And of course, we pay the price.
That's the bummer here, that we, the taxpayers, the ones that foot the bill. We're paying their paycheck to basically rip us off.
I'm absolutely disappointed in how our government's run. People are working every single day to pay into our tax systems, and we're not getting anything out of it.
The problem is exacerbated by a shrinking news media, which means fewer reporters on the beat and fewer watchdogs holding politicians' feet to the fire.
Nobody was really watching. The papers are going out of business. They don't want to spend the money as investigative reporter because there's no money in it.
No one's watching the government, and that's a recipe for disaster.
BGA, this is Pat.
The BGA's investigative team, staffed with some of Chicago's best investigative reporters,
This is John Conroy.
has a simple mission.
Follow the story wherever it takes us, and then to portray it in an honest and open way.
Shining a spotlight on the misdeeds, mismanagement, and mistakes of government.
To instill a certain fear that keeps people in line, a certain fear that if we do this the wrong way, the BGA will be at the door.
My question is, who all has these contingency funds for the county?
Story by story, our team works the investigations on the phone and out on the street.
We're out here on a stakeout today because of a tip we got that a certain government employee is inappropriately using a taxpayer-funded vehicle.
The cost of corruption is not only on the balance sheets, but in the lives of people.
The failure of government ruins people's lives.
Investigating government is critical, but it's only the first step on the road to a better government.
It isn't enough to tell people what's wrong. We have to tell people what's wrong and then tell them how to make it right.
The Better Government Association is proposing solutions, long-term and short-term, to the problems we uncover. And we're powering that effort with a comprehensive new website, highlighting investigations, issuing calls to action, and offering opportunities to get involved.
It's a new step in redefining the BGA and allowing us to help the public and take their voice and really harness it, channel it, and then amplify it.
The BGA has created a platform for the public voice, online and also in person, by hosting open forums on policy issues like term limits.
I could not have passed some of my major legislation in my first 6 and probably first 8 years.
We're beginning the discussions that lead to real change.
Voters want term limits. Politicians don't.
And we're tackling sticky issues like tax increment financing in front of standing room only crowds.
I am not against TIFs in the abstract. The problem is we don't live in the abstract. We live in the city of Chicago.
When you're talking about any tax, it's super important for people to really start understanding and breaking down where the money's going, who's in control of it, and really how much control do you have over what's being taken out of your, literally out of your pocket.
History has taught us that when governments are left unchecked, they have a tendency to engage in corruption.
The BGA has also developed a citizen watchdog training program that empowers neighborhood residents by teaching them how to monitor their own local government.
It's the average citizen that's normally underestimated. We see everything, but we just don't know how to go about using the information.
If you're the eyes and ears of the community and you watch and you provide us with tips, we'll help you execute the strategies you need to use to find stuff out. It's a team effort.
We're teaching citizens about FOIA. We're teaching citizens about the Open Meetings Act. We're giving them the tools they need to keep an eye on government.
We can't rely just on electing one person to go in there and try to be the watchdog for the entire town. We all have a responsibility.
This job of holding government accountable requires all of us to do our part. And the work of the BGA is only possible with the help of the people and the organizations that support us.
There's frankly such opportunity for change and making a difference through organizations like the BGA. And it's become ever more clearer that you need even more people investigating, we're doing more work in order to highlight the problems.
You folks are going to be the army that's going to help us take back our little d democracy, eliminate the corruption tax, restore faith, and finally have a city, a county, a state that we can be proud of instead of being a national embarrassment and a national laughingstock. It'll be a little bumpy, but I guarantee it'll be exciting. Thanks.